Happy Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Sunday. Yes, we are here today. I thought I was going to be on the golf course, but of course, when breaking news happened, I got to pull myself back. And this is a breaking news development in this crazy, I want to say YouTube streets, because the individual that I'm about to talk about is a YouTuber as well as I would like to classify him as a super fan. Uh, and why I say that is because this individual was, before I go into that, excuse my manners. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Please put a one in the chat if you can hear me. This is a microphone check. 1 2 1 2. Microphone check. Let's go. Okay. I see you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, before I can even start talking, I gotta bring my incredible co-host in today. We seen her yesterday, but she came back for a second round. She couldn't get enough, and we couldn't get enough of her as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, I want to bring in my co-host V Lenore to the stage. What's going on, V? What's going on?
Hi, Dennis. Thank you for having me back.
Hey, listen, we're gonna make this a habit. How about that? We're gonna make this
Okay,
a habit. We about that life. Now, listen,
I'm with it.
man. This I tell you, man. I tell you, this story here, man. You know, I reported on the initial story when this individual by the name of Christopher Gunn was arrested at the courthouse in the federal courthouse in New York on an unrelated federal case. It was a New York City case that, according to him, was resolved. However, right afterwards, he was arrested by the federal agents because of allegedly threatening ASAs, or the prosecutors in the R. Kelly case. That case was resolved. It was resolved, but I'm sure these prosecutors are right now looking at this guy sideways. They cut him some slack, but that, I guess, that wasn't good enough, because now, unfortunately, I have to report this individual, Christopher Gunn, or for those who don't know, his name's Debosky on these YouTube streets. He has been arrested again last week, as a matter of fact, and he's facing a felony charge of harassing a juror. Now, the backstory is that he had a case back in November, a traffic case. It was two charges. There were traffic cases, and those charges were he acted as his own attorney. He went pro se, and he had access to the juror's information because he was a pro se defendant. V, I think you're frozen. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, if she's frozen or not, but it appears that you're frozen. You might want to go out and come back in, but it looks like you're frozen. With that said, he had access to the juror's information. It was a civil case that now is a felony case that has now went to the higher court. And he reached out to this particular juror, according to the police report, and essentially said, I'm going to bring the report. I'm going to bring the report up in a second. I want V to come back in. We just lost her. She was frozen. She was doing the mannequin challenge. I thought we got rid of that 2 years ago, but she'll be back in a second. But before I bring up there she go. Let me bring her back up.
Sorry about that.
You're going to hit that fiber optics.
I know.
So let me bring you up to speed. So the individual, Christopher Gunn, in this November civil case, he had access to the juror's information because he went pro se, and apparently, because of that state law, he was getting certain information about the jurors, and he was able to search and discover who the juror was, and reached out to the juror and said, "I'm going to bring the report up." It's kind of crazy, but before we go into bringing the report up, ladies and gentlemen, please hit that like. So make sure you support both of us. Support V Lenore and Dennis Byron. We're here together. We can be doing anything. I got to cook some oxtails tonight anyway, by the way. We will talk about that later.
Ooh. Yum.
So let me say this. This guy, I had to say, just watching the way he moves, it's very disturbing. I'll tell you why it's just disturbing. You know, his I would say bullying with certain individuals on the internet has not only affected other people, but now you have a jury that doesn't even know this individual has been done with his behavior. And then when you see what this guy was previously convicted of, something I didn't know, and I guess the feds knew back then when they charged him, and that's probably why they charged him, is because this guy, they say trouble's easy to get into and hard to get out of. Well, he's got some serious trouble, and it's like it's indicative of the way this guy's moving. And while he's presumed innocent, but we see how this guy move in these YouTube streets, especially in that R. Kelly sector. And for those that don't know, there's certain individuals that are part of the R. Kelly sector. They have been doing some weird stuff since this guy's been convicted. Since he's been convicted, prior to him being convicted, you saw people getting arrested at courthouses. You saw people doing the most. You saw people, just doing too much. And a lot of it happened outside the courthouse. While this guy was fighting for his freedom, R. Kelly, which that's not going to happen no time soon, there were people that were just jumping on the bandwagon, just doing the most. Well, let's look at what Mr. Christopher Gunn is being accused of. And this reporting came out of Chicago. Let's go. Let me bring this up here real quickly. Okay, here we go. Let me add this to the stage. Let's go. Tell me if you can see that, V. Can you see that?
Yeah, we can see it. Yeah.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it for you.
It's a little small.
Okay, it's a little small.
I think we can see it.
Let's see if I can make it a little bigger. Hold on.
A
little bigger. So a Chicago man faces a felony charge in Will County that alleges he harassed one of the jurors who found him guilty of a minor traffic offense following a trial. Now think about this. This is a minor traffic offense. Most people just say, pay the ticket and keep it pushing. So on Wednesday, Christopher Gunn, 41, at the time he was arrested in the R. Kelly case, he was 39. So just like 2 years later. On Wednesday, Christopher Gunn was taken to the Will County Jail on a charge of harassing of a juror who found him guilty of failing to carry a driver's license while operating a vehicle and disobeying a stop sign in a traffic case. Minor stuff. Most people say this is a minor. Most people just pay the ticket and keep it pushing. But he decided he wanted to fight, and he wanted a jury trial. Well, the jury came back and found him guilty of the traffic infraction. Gunn was sentenced to court supervision for those charges, for the traffic offenses. Gunn, who is black, is charged with sending a message to the juror that said, "Just so you know, I didn't want you white block split. We probably say you white MFs on the jury, or whatever. You fill in the blanks according to a criminal complaint. The message had caused mental anguish or emotional distress to the juror," the criminal complaint said. So, how stupid can you be? Why would you even reach out to the juror in the first place on a traffic offense? Why? Well,
here's the thing. When you had him on your channel, that was like what, 2 weeks ago?
Yes.
And you were talking to him. Yes. Honestly, and I'm sure if he's watching now, he's not going to like me. But
he's not watching because the story gets better.
Something was off.
Well, let me say this: he's not watching because he's in jail, and he has a hearing. Yeah. He has a hearing tomorrow morning. The juror doesn't want him to get out, and the prosecutor doesn't want him to get out of jail. And I'll tell you why. They'll tell you why they don't want him to get out of jail. Let's go ahead and look at the story. It gets deeper, which I'm like, oh, this guy's a bad boy for life. You get it, bad boy for life? Let's
did he?
Okay. The juror went to the Joliet Police Department to report the harassment after serving on the jury on Gunn's case on November 15th at the Will County Courthouse, according to a petition from the prosecutors to keep Gunn detained. So they didn't want him to get out. The juror believed Gunn had searched for her online. This thing's moving crazy. The juror believed Gunn had searched for her online and through social media. Prosecutors said the juror had safety concerns because her location was also discoverable online. Because Gunn served as his own lawyer during the trial, he was able to have access to the names of all the jurors and potential jurors, prosecutors said. And see, this is a problem, you know, when you release jurors' information to pro se defendants. You never know what their intentions are. During the jury trial, Gunn had objected to the juror being on the jury, but the selection process was already done, and he did not object to the juror beforehand, prosecutor said. Gunn claimed he did not have a fair jury selection process. As part of the argument to block Gunn's release from jail, prosecutors pointed to Gunn's criminal history. That history includes conviction of arson in a 2005 case and unlawful use of a weapon by a felon in a 2007 case, court records show. Now, they didn't mention in this article about the R. Kelly situation, but I'm sure the juror probably did her research, and that's going to be one of the arguments of contention to let this guy get out. You were saying we was on the platform. What did you think when he was on our platform?
I thought something was off about him. He was a little belligerent at times, so I can see how someone would even feel uncomfortable in his presence, to be quite honest. And the way he was justifying certain actions, it just
defied logic.
Yeah,
it defied logic and reasoning.
Yeah,
and logic and reasoning would tell you don't seek out a juror and then harass the juror, because that is a problem, especially when they found you guilty.
Hell yeah.
And it was a
retaliation
case. Like, you idiot. And I'm gonna call him an idiot. Now you got a felony.
So if I mean, just think about it. If he would do this with a juror on a traffic case after it's all said and done, it doesn't surprise me that he's been accused of other things, you know.
Well, he was found guilty on those other charges. I mean, like, come on now. Like, this would make anyone feel concerned. And then when you got these beefs on YouTube with people you don't know, so that even raises another flag for me. You're beefing with people that you don't know. You don't know how other people is going to react to you trying to intimidate them. And let's be honest. There's a certain YouTuber that he was caping for. And
which,
how
see,
ironic.
that's the thing. That's how dangerous. I mean, can you think about if he's really caping for this YouTuber, how that puts a lot of people in danger potentially, you know, with his actions. You never know how he might respond just because you're having some sort of discord with that YouTuber.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now you have to look at the bigger picture, and the bigger picture is what's the saying? A block of is it a horse of a feather flocks together? What's it? A bird of a feather flocks together. A bird of a feather flocks together. So this individual, you can name him. I'm not naming her, but she just came out of a situation, and as soon as she came out, he all on her page hitting her with the cash apps. Now, will she return the favor?
Oh, wow. Now look, there's someone in your chat. It's not in my chat. NT is in the chat saying that his name is Debo. Is that his name? Or
yeah.
So NT says, for views and content, Debo isn't arrested for threatening. No prosecutor. He's an MF and lie, and this is a fact. Then it says Debo isn't in jail for no effing juror's threat or harassment. He got a misdemeanor, period.
Okay. Well, let him tell the story. I tell the story to the judge on Monday. Now, we're gonna hold on a second. We're gonna keep. Let me give him some love. Let me give him some love. Give him some love. We'll give the right person some love. So let's see how this plays out. I mean, this is the prosecutors wanting this person not to be able to have access to this juror. Now, because it was I guess a felony, they raised it to a felony. I don't know what the judge is going to decide. He has court Monday. He has court Monday.
You think Sylvia would be there?
It's in Chicago. I don't know. Let's see.
Oh, Chicago. Oh, that's right.
It's in Chicago.
Hell, she's been there before for court, so I don't know.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Hit the Cash App.
That's where she got her first case, right? Was in Chicago?
It's in Chicago. Yes, yes. So this is weird. This is weird. This is weird because when you see people like that doing all this intimidation online, it raises concern and makes the YouTube community unsafe. Unsafe.
Yeah.
He's the boogeyman.
Yeah. My name is not Girl Said. I'm in Chicago and I ain't going. Okay.
So those prosecutors that were in the R. Kelly case, I think most of them went to private practice, but I'm sure they're going to be like, hey, wait a minute. Hey, we might want to look at this guy here again. I don't know if he had a conditional release. I don't know what the terms of his case is, so I will look it up. But it's just unnecessary.
Yeah,
unnecessary. It's just bizarre. Your thoughts?
It's bizarre.
Your thoughts?
So let me ask you this: what was the situation between he and Dana? What's his name? Dana J. What was that situation again between the two of them? Was he threatening Dana J?
They have some issues. They have some serious issues happening. They're going back and forth. It's just weird, you know. They're going back and forth with whatever issues they have, and you know, I would say that I don't know if he even knows at this point if this guy was arrested. I would assume he would know if his op got arrested. Wouldn't you think?
Okay. Yeah. A mess.
So I don't know. I would just say that if you're on here just using whatever intimidating tactics you do just to harass people, it's not gonna end well. Especially if you have a track record just harassing people, you're gonna meet the right one.
That's right. That's right. Rhonda Holmes put in your chat, maybe he wants to be arrested to be with R. Kelly. You know, these people are so crazy. I put nothing past anybody at this point because the lengths I see people go to get next to someone or to feel accepted by someone, and I'm talking about subscribers, the things that they will do to get the attention of certain content creators, they will go out and act on the person's behalf without the person even suggesting anything of the sort.
Oh, absolutely.
I would be afraid with somebody like that liking me.
So according to the report, Christopher Gunn allegedly threw a rag, I guess gasoline laced rag in someone's car and started court and created arson.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. So that would raise some concerns. You know, that would raise some concerns. Now he may have a different story. He didn't do it. He wasn't there. You know, it wasn't me. You know, it was just someone who looked like me. But again, if your habits are, if your behavior is to threaten people online, and you got a juror just saying you harassed me, you reached out to me. Why are you reaching out to the juror for a traffic infraction? What were you going to do?
Well, Julie Parker says, quick question. Is it a crime to contact a juror once a case has been disposed? Disposed.
So let me ask you a question.
Just curious. So I can answer the first part of that. It's against the law to harass someone, right? And it's easy to put the pieces together if you know they had a prior connection. And if that connection was that the person was on a jury and the jury voted against this individual, it's easy to put the pieces together to talk about motive. So at the end of the day, he did harass the person. Either way you look at it, and that's against the law. But go ahead.
Right. James. I mean, just think, this guy calls me on the phone, not me personally. I'm saying he calls this woman, because it says her,
Mhm.
calls her and says those things to her, and she probably had call ID and started Googling his name and seeing the connection. Say, oh my God. And then the
Mhm.
words that were used sounds like a setup for a civil lawsuit as well.
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
know, the racial overtone, the setup for the you didn't want the white person on your jury anyway. Well, you might get a jury with all white people next time.
Right. Right. Lovejoy is asking, what's his full name?
Christopher Gunn. Christopher Gunn.
Christopher Gunn, but he goes by this this
Dabolsky.
nickname.
Dabolsky.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah, he seemed odd to me. I'll be honest. I mean, I'm sure there's all kinds of people out here we don't even know that are following us and talking to us in chats. And they could be some of the most dangerous, obsessive people ever. That's why you got to be very careful about how you spread yourself around out here.
That's why I said I support the Second Amendment. 2A. 2A. 2A.
I
Who's
support it too.
okay? Good.
I just want them to treat us okay, you know, and with the same respect that they get treated, you know, having weapons. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's the weapons only bad when they're in the wrong person's hand.
True.
There are people that
Look, let
go
me
who
tell you
are
something. I was telling someone yesterday. Who was I talking to? It was after I got off the live with you. Look, I come from a family where we had multiple guns in the house. My mother carried a gun in her purse for years. And as a little baby, now y'all may think this is crazy, but my mother taught me how to carry a gun so that if we were ever in some sort of emergency, I knew where it was, I knew how to handle it, and I knew how to get it to her. Now, some folks might say, "Oh my God, why would she let a child do that?" Look, my mother was always preparing me.
no. I was on a gun range at 18 years old, and that's probably
Okay,
late for some. But when coming up when I came up, it was hard to get a gun permit in New York.
yeah.
You know, so I didn't start going to range until I was young. 18 was young.
Look, my mother died 10 years ago, and unfortunately, and I'm not trying. I don't want to trigger anybody, but unfortunately, she passed away in her sleep. And you know, so she was at home, you know, tucked away fine, just went to sleep and didn't wake up. So when the police, when the folks came to remove the body, right, um the officer came into the kitchen and said, I just want you to know that we found this tucked in the cushion of the couch, because my mom was laying on the couch sleep. She always had it was a gun. She had one tucked in there just in case somebody came out. She was ready. There was one in the bedroom, one in her purse, and one somewhere else. You know.
That's
Yeah.
the way you got
So
to roll.
hey,
And she left this earth in a peaceful way in her sleep.
literally
In
with
a
a
peaceful
piece
way.
with a piece of steel right next to it.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness.
It made me laugh because I was like, "That's my mama."
No, that's how you have to move. You
Yeah.
got weirdos, that move in these. There are people that have mental issues and they move in these streets like they're normal, and then all of a sudden they snap.
Yes. Yes. Think about Selena, the singer Selena, when
Mhm.
she passed away. Her fan is who
Right,
killed her. You know.
right, because she got
Obsessed.
exposed for cooking, stealing from her.
Well, yeah, but she was also obsessed with that woman.
She was
You know.
obsessed, but I mean, it started, came out that she was stealing from her, and
Yeah.
she was running her whole fan club, and the
Yep.
money was being redirected, and she got. That was a sad story too. It was a good movie, but it was a sad story. That's when I
Mhm.
saw. I realized Jennifer Lopez really could act.
Yeah, I love that movie actually. I didn't know anything about Selena until that movie came out. So I was like really into it. One of my best friends is Dominican, and I didn't know her at that. No, yes, I did. Yes, I did. I take that back. I knew her at that time, but she's the one who kind of put me on to Selena after I saw the movie. I was like, oh wow, she was huge.
Yeah, she was. She was.
Mhm.
She, every year they have. I think she was in San Antonio, Texas, or New Mexico.
I want to say she was in Texas, but I
Okay.
can't remember. Look, is it Vanderveer? Said the R. Kelly supporters are low vibrational.
Listen, look at this. So the word on the curve is that you the witness for Dana. You told Dana about the tracker. I told Dana about the tracker online. I was lying.
In front of all of us.
Right there.
Yeah.
You're not breaking no news. If you think you're breaking news, go break news somewhere else. Yeah, this is not breaking news. I said it on live.
Sure did. We were right here.
Right.
That was wild. That's a great clip, though. The fact that you informed him of that, and it was like a light bulb went off with him.
Right.
And he's like, "Wait a minute."
So the word on the curve. It ain't the word. The word was on the chat. Get your snitching behind out of here.
Yeah. Do you think they are going to call you, Dennis?
Probably not. They don't need what they need me for.
Well, no, I take that back. They'll probably ask you, Dennis, when you had that conversation with her. You don't think? And ask you about, how they asked Wade about all his conversations and Bradley about all his conversations.
I'm going to be Terrence Bradley on the stand. I don't remember. I don't know. What did you do? I don't know. It wasn't me. It was her. It wasn't me.
Oh man.
Well, first, ladies and gentlemen, let me say something. If that tracker doesn't come back to someone connected with her, they have no case. It's just BS. Because they had to listen. I never seen her put no tracker on this car. I've never seen her put a tracker on the car.
She said that she put a tracker on the car, and then he said he found the tracker in the car.
Huh? There's a big difference. I didn't witness her doing it.
But you said that she told you that she
Absolutely.
did it. And then he said he found one.
Right. So
and he if he takes that to the cops, I mean, obviously it has to. I just don't understand this part. Why didn't the person who is tracked to get arrested, not the person who that person is associated with? If he's saying that the person that had the air tag was someone closely in proximity to Sylvia, why didn't they just arrest that person? Or arrest both persons?
I didn't conduct the investigation. I mean, it was just a conversation, and I didn't know if she was capping or not. But apparently, he said she wasn't because he found one. The question I have is, when was it put on? When was it purchased? Who purchased it? How did it get there? Was it her? Did she have someone else do it for her? Was it someone, like the fact that you mentioned something like that out of the blue makes no sense.
Makes no sense. So I don't get it.
Right. And if it's not tracked to her, and if it's registered to him, they're like, wait, first of all, you're not going to arrest nobody just on someone saying, oh, I found the tracker. You're going to investigate where the tracker came from.
Right. And he says that it tracked back somehow to someone closely in proximity to her. But it doesn't make sense that person wouldn't have also been called in, whoever they are.
Absolutely.
I think we all have assumptions. Like a lot of people assume it's the daughter, but it doesn't have to be the daughter. Or
well, it could be anybody. It could be Tobolsky. It could be anybody. Yeah. It could be anybody. If you got ops and you got people that are don't hate your ops, then you got anybody would do it. It could do it. Don't mention it if you have no knowledge of it. Because listen, it was my duty to tell the guy, check your car. I don't know what kind of car the guy drives.
It's all weird. Like, I don't even understand. I still don't get how they fell out per se. And the fact that he bought a car from her, but then didn't need the car, like, it's all weird. Like, he's like, I didn't need the car. The car just sat out there, and now the car is gone. And he had another car, and this new car is where the tracker was on.
Well, then that means that I can only conclude that someone knew where he was at and had information where he was at and was able to, put a tracker on him. But the detectives the detectives would obviously do their investigation. They're not just going to misdemeanor or not. They have to do their own investigation. You don't go on someone's word because you can buy a tracker I guess you can buy a tracker anywhere, you know?
Yeah, you could. But I guess I'm just concerned that look, if this woman was in jail for no good reason for 10, wasn't it like 10 days? It was a long time. And if someone lied on her and got her arrested, that's not cool. I don't care what
Well, they're not gonna arrest if they
with.
don't have probable cause. They're not arrested if they don't have probable cause. You gotta figure it's an electronic crime. You can trace the tracker. So
Now let me say this. I know someone else on YouTube who was accused of harassment. There was somehow a warrant placed on. Now, I guess there were some, I don't know what the evidence was, but let's just say she not accidentally, she called the police about the person who was harassing her. The person told her she had a warrant on her. She calls the police to make a report against that individual. The police come to her house and let her know that she does have a warrant, and they took her in. And she went to jail for 6 days. Now, after she came out, they dismissed it. But I'm still concerned that people can just say something about you and, yeah, it can go away later, but you got to suffer these consequences in the meantime.
Well, it happens all the time. People make false reports all the time. But this is when you talk about a case involving electronic tracking device. No different than they're able to track your phone when it's moving anywhere using Cellbrite technology. They can track the device, the origin of that device, especially if it's an Apple tag. An Apple tag has to be registered to an Apple account. So what account was it registered to?
Do you think Dana knows who it was registered to and he just didn't say?
I don't know.
Because he just said that's a good question when I asked that before.
So anyway. what I heard recently was that the civil case, which is two different cases, the civil case was dismissed because she wasn't properly served. She wasn't served. So if you're not served, the judge can't hear it because they have to have jurisdiction. And you get jurisdiction when you get served, not going to court and not being served, because then you say, hey, y'all, this is not proper service. No different than in the case involving Fonnie Willis. They didn't want to accept service. The U.S. Marshal had to come to her office and serve her.
Oh, for real? I didn't know that.
Absolutely. They had to serve her for the Jim Jordan hearing. They had to serve her.
But they know how to find Fonnie.
Yeah, but you got to accept service is a key part of bringing someone in front of a court. You got to serve them, or you got to arrest them. You got to figure a way, unless they willingly going to come in and say, hey, I'm here. And most people are not going to willingly come in. And this was a hearing. This is a hearing that they convened, which is going to happen. I don't know what the date is, but there's other hearings that she has to be a part of.
Well, she's been busy since she got out. Since she got out, she's gone on 2 visits. She's
visits with who?
Huh?
Visits with who?
Who? I said
she want to visit. Visits with who?
Oh, she's going to visit Ernesto Williams, aka Nesto, aka Ernest, who is the husband to Cheryl Strawberry.
No way. Hold on. Do I have to play this video? Hold on a second.
You got the video? You got the video?
Well, hold on a second. Let me pull this clip up here. Hold on. See now. Let me see if I got this video here. Let me see. I got this video. Let me see here.
Hi, everybody in my chat. I can't really talk to y'all, but thank you for being here.
Why can't you talk to them?
Well, because you can't really. I can't type in. I can't type in the chat unless I actually do it over here. Oh. Yeah, him.
All right, this is the matter of the state of Georgia versus Ernest Williams. The defendant is in custody under CP number 23 CP 219961. The defendant was previously before this court for the court's consideration of bond, which the court denied. Mr. Williams is present in court with his attorney, Hannah Rondon. and the state is represented. The court is ready to proceed. Ms. Rondon, you have the floor.
Thank you, Your Honor. To begin, Mr. Williams has been in custody without indictment for 232 days, so he is entitled to bond under OCGA 17750. To speak to who Mr. Williams is, he is 59 years old and has lived his entire life here in Georgia. He has extensive family here, as well as all his contacts. He does have a good address, which I can provide to the court here in the Metro Atlanta area. Prior to his arrest, he did own and operate 2 businesses for approximately 20 years. And so he does have substantial community ties to Atlanta and generally to the state of Georgia. Because Mr. Williams is entitled to bond, I'm asking for bond to be set as follows: $20,000 per felony count and $500 on the misdemeanor for a total.
You'll need to enumerate the counts.
Sure. For count 1, which is the rape charge, I'm asking for $20,000. For the aggravated sodomy charge, I'm asking for $20,000. For the sexual battery misdemeanor, I'm asking for $500. For the aggravated sexual battery, I'm asking for $20,000. And for the trafficking for sexual servitude, I'm asking for $20,000. That is a grand total of $80,500. Mr. Williams has been in custody, as I stated, on this particular case for 232 days without indictment, but he has been in custody since July 7th of 2022, which is 19 months. I bring that up to support why I'm asking for an $80,000 $500 bond. His means have been significantly impacted due to the time he has spent in custody. Your Honor, he's not a flight risk from this jurisdiction, as he strenuously maintains his innocence and is looking forward to the day that he can go to court and maintain his innocence. That is all, Your Honor.
All right, so I just want to make sure that the charges are aligned, and I want to repeat what I understood to be your request for bond. You essentially have requested a $20,000 bond on each of the felonies, which I believe was your earlier summary.
Before I can continue, I want you guys to know that I shot that footage. I fought hard to get in the courtroom to get that footage. It wasn't an easy task. Don't believe me? Ask Pammy Pam, attorney Pammy Pam. So
tell us what you did, Dennis. She told it.
Goodness.
I was dying.
Man, well, I told the story before, but I'll tell it again. Maybe I'll put a little swag on it. So
Yeah.
I had to. I was asked by Pam to try to get a camera in the courtroom. So I filed the necessary Rule 22 paperwork. The judge wasn't initially going to grant the Rule 22, but then I had me some demonstrable evidence in the courtroom, a physical person. So in my argument to the judge, I'm saying, Your Honor, this woman over here, the one, the young one with the gray hair, the one who's visited him in jail, she did what? Wait a minute. And you signed the Rule 22 for her to cover the last hearing. The judge like, okay. All right. Okay. Well, hold on. Let me do some Googling. Let me check. Oh, Mr. Byron, based on your representation, I'm going to allow you to bring the camera in. How long will it take you? 5 minutes, Your Honor. I was set up at 4.
But wait a minute. You skipped a good part where
No,
she was questioning you and you said the lady with the gray hair, and then y'all went back and forth and you said, but she's a blogger. I'm a journalist.
Oh, yeah, that part.
Line?
Yeah, I did say that. Your Honor, she's a blogger. I'm a journalist. And I'm not visiting people in the jail to pray for them when they got real victims out here. I'm not that guy, Your Honor. I am not that guy.
But wait a minute.
I don't know who said
Pam said she was like, well, damn, I'm a blogger.
Right. So it was, and listen, it went down just like that. She was sitting in the courtroom. I pointed to her. I said, Your Honor. There she go right there, the lady gray hair. And she's visiting him in the jail. The judge, what? After knowing, the judge already looked up his charges. Now, why would this woman be just
Yeah.
visiting this guy in the jail? Why would she
Did
just
she-
be? And see, here's the problem. She initially came to the judge to get a Rule 22 to cover the hearing, representing that she's part of the media.
Right.
I don't know no journalist in my entire career that visited someone in jail to quote unquote pray for them.
You can't be unbiased like that. Doing
No.
that.
Judge said, wait a minute. Well, I'm not giving out Rule 22s just for anybody to say they want to just come to jail. No. I mean, just come to the courtroom. No. Let me rethink this. Based on your representation, based on the new, because she was about to rule against me. I don't know about Hip Hop Inquirer. I never heard about you. I said, Judge, you're gonna have to Google me. I'm in everybody's courtroom. I'm in the Washington, the New York Times, the Washington Post. I mean, Google me. Google me, baby.
Lord. Well, how was Sylvia looking when you were saying all this? Did you look at her face?
I looked at her. I wasn't, ain't no shame in my game. I looked at her like she's right there. Like,
But how did
Yana.
she look like? I can't believe you're doing this. Or
She was
what
just like
did
looking
she
straight
do?
ahead. Like this, I know this nigga ain't just point me out in the courtroom. And she's sitting behind Ernesto, Nasty Nesto's when we came to court, she was sitting behind the lawyer and his private investigator. And I'm like, okay. So Pam wants to go over there and do some chit-chat. I'm like, listen, I did what I had to do. I made the phone call to get you out of jail. I made that call. Mind you, she was sitting in there, and I'm gonna tell people that to say I'm hating on her. I made the phone call. I reached out to the sheriff in that county. She's been sitting here. Go pick her up, bring her to the county so she can get a bond. And the girl, she didn't even say, "Oh, thank you, Mr. She didn't say nothing. It's all good. It's all good." But
look, my moderator even quoted another quote you made. I've interviewed 6 presidents.
I photographed 6 presidents.
Oh, photograph. I
Right.
photographed 6 presidents.
Man, you guys remember the story better than I do.
I was like, damn, you did that, Dennis? Like, that was crazy.
Yes.
But I get it. I get it. But wait a minute. Wasn't that after? Yeah, that's after she tried to humiliate. Well, so she thought humiliate you about the Rule 22.
That's so tacky. So tacky. See,
so she did that, and then look what
I got that
happened.
video too. Now I don't want to play. I don't want to just say.
Ooh,
Listen.
wait.
I got the exhibits now. I got the demonstrative evidence. I can play videos all day now.
Oh Lord, I want to see.
And that video right there was just like, wow.
Wait,
Really?
Look, the hustler Lily, she is not gonna let you live down that you went out and bought that woman a dress. I told you he thought he was Richard Gere. He thought he was Richard Gere and Pretty Woman. Pretty woman walking down the
Listen,
street.
Lily, don't do that to me. Lily, don't do it to me. Listen, Lily, don't do it. Don't do it.
Y'all have seen that picture of Sylvia, and she's got like on this strappy dress. It's real sexy, as a matter of fact. Little cleavage showing. Yes.
I got good
bought her
taste.
that dress.
I got good taste.
All right,
good
Richard.
taste.
I hear you, Richard Gere. I hear you.
I did say, ask your husband to buy the dress. I said that. I said, go ask your husband to buy a dress. I ain't gonna tell you what she said. We're gonna leave that alone.
Well, we know look, I ain't thinking about her husband, and neither is she, because if she's out here flirting with R. Kelly's road managers and showing breasts.
Oh my goodness. But let's play the rest of the video, because some people haven't seen this. Let me play the rest of this video.
Yeah, play it.
Let's see who the person she's actually visiting. Let's see. Let me go ahead, break it here. Boom.
Felonies being aggravated sexual battery, rape, aggravated sodomy, and trafficking a person for sexual servitude,
Yes, Your Honor.
and a $500 bond on the misdemeanor simple battery count,
Yes, Your
for
Honor.
a total of $85,000, correct?
Yes.
Anything else?
No, nothing further.
Ms. State?
Yes, Your Honor. The state concedes that the accused is
Entitled?
entitled. Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Is entitled to a bond pursuant to OCDS section.
Help out, Judge.
History of the defendant. 2, I have a statement I'd like to read to the court from one of the victims in the case, and then of course the fact that the court has already heard in the previous bond hearing in this matter. In terms of the defendant's criminal history, He has 19 cycles of arrests and 8 felony convictions. He has felony conviction for theft by receiving, Fulton County. That was in August of 1989.
I need you to wait just a moment because some of the information that you're reciting I have.
Okay.
And I want to pull the notes that I have from the earlier hearing. Take your seat.
Thank you. One theft by receiving at Fulton County, August of 1989.
I have the history of all of his prior convictions.
Okay. And Your Honor, do you have all 8?
Actually, the last time the matter was before the court, and I'm not interested going forward in cycles. I think I've told you that before. Cycles don't mean anything to the court. I see 4 convictions and 4 pending cases.
Okay, so I have 8.
1998 theft, 1988 theft, 1990 armed robbery out of Cobb County. The theft case was in Fulton. A 1992 armed robbery out of Douglas County. And then there are 4 pending cases, at least based on these notes. 1 from 20, 1 from 21, and 2 from 22. The case from 20 is theft by deception. The case from 21 is theft by deception. I have 222 pending cases, 1 for child pornography and the other for theft by deception. And it appears that there's a 2006, this might be a forgery in the first degree out of Cobb County, which would be the 4th felony conviction that was reported the last time the matter was before the court.
If I can make some corrections to that history, just to be sure that on the record I have all of them listed. As to the theft by receiving.
Give me the date of conviction, the charge, jurisdiction, and sentence. That's how I'd like to receive the information.
Yes, Your Honor. August 21st of 1989, theft by receiving, Fulton County, 4 years probation. July 2nd, 1991, theft by receiving and theft by taking, DeKalb County, 1 year confinement. 1989.
That's not a year. That's not a full date. I'm sorry.
Yes, it's August 21st, 1989.
So they're not enough in chronological order?
They weren't on the GCIC, Your Honor, when I went to do a notification. This is death by receiving in Fulton County. 4 years probation.
Are you sure that's not the same? It is the same. You gave me that twice.
And I looked at that, Your Honor, and I believe when I read the GCIC, it said these 2 case numbers would run concurrent with one another. So I believe that there are 2 separate cases. I was not able to look at confirm that when I reviewed it. August 9th, 2006, armed robbery and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon.
Just need the highest charge.
And armed robbery, Cobb County, 10 years confinement. October 17th, 1991, death by taking, Gwinnett County, 8 years to serve with 2 years in confinement.
It's not 8 years to serve, it's 8 served to. The balance prorated.
Yes, Your Honor. February 22nd, 1998, armed robbery, Douglas County, 10 years in confinement.
So these are all convictions.
2006,
Yeah, these are past convictions.
concealing facts in matters of government, Cobb County, 1 year in confinement. And then August 5th, 2005, bank fraud. This is a federal conviction out of Kentucky, 37 months in confinement. The accused has 2 open cases. That was the court referenced earlier, 22 CP 211078. That's forgery and ID fraud. Also, the 22 CP 52-10500, that's a theft by deception charge. And then there are 2 cases that were indicted to Judge Edwards that have been dismissed because they will be re-indicted into a conspiracy charge under 1614-4. And those 2
So the cases were dismissed before the re-indictment?
Yes.
Not interested.
And then the pending case before us, Your Honor, y'all like to note for the record that there were.
Before you leave that, I would just note that the 2 pending cases that I have from 22 are different from the ones that you cited. I have, as I indicated, one, I think the alleged incident date is July of 22 for child pornography. The second, with an alleged incident date, I believe of June 4th of 22 was the theft by deception. It's a little bit different than what you cited for the court.
So there are 3 cases, and the 2 that you're on site, the one that you cited was the child sexual abuse material case, possession of child pornography. That is the right case number.
I don't need the case number. Let's continue.
Okay. And then the other 2 cases that I cited are pending cases. They're pending cases in our white colleges. The 22 CP 21107.
Right, counsel, the numbers don't mean anything to the court. I'm interested in the dates and charges. And I only had 2. You said 2, and now you're telling me 3 from 22.
22 CP is the June 4th, 2022. And that is the theft by deception. And then the 22 CP 21107.
And counsel, I'm sorry, are you getting any of this, Ms. Klein? Are you able to get this? Stop down to the table. Are you getting it? Can you hear?
Okay, I'll speak up.
I don't need, again, for the 3rd time, CP numbers. I'm interested in the date and the charge.
Okay. June 4th, 2022.
We've covered that, the last one.
And the last one is January, I don't know the date, but January 2021. And that is the ID fraud.
So you don't have any offenses from 21 beyond that? So let me back up. You're confusing me, Ms. Winfrey, which is not unusual. But as it relates to what you're citing to the court, I gave you the 4 pending cases that were reported the last time this matter was before the court for bond hearing. You indicated to me that you had 2 cases from 22, and then you said that there was a 3rd case. I think what you were trying to tell me was that you had the 2 cases from 22, and there were additional pending cases, because the last one you cited was from 21. So I have a case from 20, I think this is 20 if I can read my notes, which is a theft by deception, that may be 21. I have a second theft by deception from 21, child pornography case from 22, and a 3rd theft by deception from 22.
That is correct.
All right. Anything else?
Your Honor, we say for the record that the defendant has 2 FTAs on his record. We also would like the court to know that there was a warrant out of Henry County for a larceny case for February 19, 2019. And then there are 2 warrants out of California, Los Angeles, for cases for cars that were stolen out of California and sold in Georgia. There's also a warrant out for Augusta for obstruction and giving false name for law enforcement, where the defendant used a name Victor West. And the defendant has many aliases, as well as using 6 different social security numbers and at least 5 different dates of birth.
I only have 1 FTA from 2004 from my notes from October.
Other FTA is from 2020 and it was not prosecuted.
So if it wasn't prosecuted, Ms. Winfrey, it's not an FTA, right?
That's correct.
Wow.
I would like to also place in the record that the victim in this case wanted to place in the record a statement. And as this case has progressed, there have been 3 additional outcry witnesses that have come forward to make similar outcries regarding sexual abuse. And in terms of, I spoke to one of the victims, one of the outcry witnesses on yesterday, None of them wanted to be here today, but wanted me to intimate their concerns about Mr. Williams' release, if he gets released on bond. The first is for Ms.
So I take out the names of the victims or the alleged victims.
She states that she has been traumatized at a very young age. She still has nightmares sometimes, and I have to live with everything he's done to me and many others. I am scared that if he gets out, he will confine me because of the contract he made me sign in blood. I do think he is a big threat, and I'm going to look at the criminal history of the system failed, not just me, but many others as well. Because
So what's up with these blood contracts? What's that all about?
Wow, that is.
I wonder if she
crazy.
found out when she went to visit him about the blood. Did she make a blood contract with him too?
Who knows? Well, they say he's into dark arts, so there, he has some interesting practices when he meets people.
Wow.
He says
Wow.
he has to have sex with them so that if they're going to work for him and he's not present, that he will be a part of them. So therefore, he must have intercourse with them and inside of them.
Okay. All right. This is getting weird. This sounds like something Nature Boy would say.
Thank you.
Obviously, I covered that case. Now, but people don't understand that these facilities have pastors, imams that visit the jails and to go
Right.
and meet. Right. They have male pastors, imams, and these other other individuals that give spiritual guidance or support to people incarcerated. They have them there. They are actually a part of the facility. So it's interesting that any individual would claim that they're going there just to pray for the guy, and you see all the victims he left behind, and it's all these other. He has tons of victims he's left behind. He has a rap sheet bigger than Ludacris. And when I talk rap sheet, you get it? Rap sheet. It's crazy.
Well, one of the victims, the one she just named, at first I thought she was talking about his daughter, but his daughter is on the no contact list, right? And so is his wife's daughter is on the no contact list. And this girl, whoever she's reading the letter from, is saying that she's been traumatized since she was at a young age. We heard him on phone calls just recently directing his children, basically just sort of encouraging hate towards this one child.
The sibling. He kept saying sibling. So this is and here's the problem here. And I'm not saying that she's doing this, but to go in to campaign under the guise of praying for him, because if you come to pray for me, you don't have to tell the world you pray for me. You just pray for me. You don't have to publicize every visit you're doing.
You don't have to go.
It's all clout chasing.
You don't have to go there. As a matter of fact, that's what the daughter was saying to her. Like, you can pray for this man over the phone. Why do you have to go down to the jailhouse to see him? You want to see him. You want to be in the space and proximity with this person who we just heard these five counts that they went over at the beginning. They're all related to sex. All of them.
It's just
the
weird.
great, the sodomy. I don't even know how you could say that a different way, but the sodomy, like all that stuff is wild to me. And you want to go support him? He has a track record. You can support him from home. If you think he's being done wrong, pray for him at home. Why are you going down there?
My wife wouldn't listen. That'll be the last day I'll be married to you. You're not doing that. You come visit me. You ain't come visit me.
But she tried to go see R. Kelly. Remember Dana J? If Dana J is telling the truth about how that went down, she went out of her way to meet R. Kelly. Why? Because if we know nothing, you may say all of those women in surviving R. Kelly, okay, let's just say they were all lying. We know one girl wasn't lying. Well, she didn't say anything, but we saw it. That was the girl on the tape. She was a child. And he did heinous things to her. So if he did it to one person, that's enough for me. He doesn't need 10 people, 5 people, or even 2. He did it to one. That's too many. Go take your ass to jail, period.
And then what about the sharing of the alleged victim back early on? I think there was some
no, this happened a couple of weeks ago. Okay, I'll tell you when we found out. Maybe around a day or so before the Super Bowl. It had come out that Sylvia.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Someone said this. Tell me if this is true. Okay. Hold on a second. Do you see that?
Oh, yeah. That wouldn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me at all, because he knows what's going on too. See, she thinks she's using prayer as a form to get close to this man, but he is using her desire to be close to him. He knows what this is. Everything around him is about women. So if he knows nothing else, he can spot a broken woman. If nothing else, he knows how to find his prey. He has a very specific prey, okay? And he's using her too. He playing in her face. She playing in his. The problem is they both playing in God's face, and they're going to both get handled. That's it. That's all. You playing with God.
Wait. Hold on.
Wrong one.
Wait, she said, hold on a second here. Hold on. Look. He told her he loved her too. Oh, my God.
Look, there was a couple of comments I did want you to see. Hold on. Let me go back up. One was, oh, shoot. Okay, one was, it was, I am worthy. I know who it was. Let me see if I can find it.
Just ask him to post it again. Just repost it.
I am worthy. What did you say that name was? It was, there's a term for people like, oh, there it is. So I am worthy said, I think it's hybristophilia, which is sexual interest in an attraction and attraction to those who commit crimes. In some cases, this may be directed towards people in prison for various types of criminal activities.
Hold on. Someone said, why do I have our shades on? So for those who don't follow me, I wear shades, these shades, because the light is sensitive to my eyes. You know, I put drops in. That's why I wear it. For those who don't want to use comments, I'm wearing the shades for that reason. Sometimes I'll switch it out, but the rays bother my eyes, so these are protected.
He's just cool. That's all. He's just cool.
That too. Now, if I was being sneaky, I would do like this.
Wait, get this. Then someone else said that, and I can't find that one. But it says, the Real Brown Family Chronicle says Sylvia did a live earlier today on why Ernest is still in jail, trying to give an explanation for his case. Someone else said that she went live asking for cash apps today. For Ernest, I believe.
Oh, she's trying to raise money for his bond?
Maybe. So
yes, that's what I meant. Light rays.
I can't find
well, hey, listen. Whatever it's for, she's on we've seen this during the whole R. Kelly, the fundraising and all this other stuff. Now it's, I guess, I think I did a post probably a month ago. I said, is Ernest Williams her next mark? I said her next mark.
Yeah,
they might be using each other. Hey, let's.
That's what I'm saying. He's her mark and she's his.
Right.
He's going to use this to milk it for everything he has. He likes that's being taped to see that he's praying. He loves God, and he can do this in front of cameras. And she's a blogger, and then she can go and take it and share with the masses of her people. That's what he's doing. She, on the other hand, is just attracted to an MFer like that. That's all that is.
No, it could be a twofold effect. She could be attracted to him, and she could be also, hit the Cash App. You know, listen, I'm promoting the guy. I've seen this in YSL as well. I mean, this is not nothing. You guys have to be blind. Listen, you wearing a free Young Thug T-shirt on while trying to claim recovery.
While you're talking on the phone with Young Thug's dad on a regular basis. I mean, come on. Just like she was on the phone with R. Kelly's road manager. You think if R. Kelly's road manager saw her breastises that daddy YSL might not be getting some too? Ernest gonna be
what happened after you bought her the dress. See, listen, Lily, don't do it. You're a mod. You can't be a troll and a mod. You can't, Lily. You can't be a troll and a mod. Look what she said.
Ooh,
Dennis, what happened after you bought the dress? She has a weird attraction. Ain't nothing happened. She got in her car. I got my car. We went our separate ways. And I said, "Give me my dress back." I'm just trying to say that. I'm just. No. I said you use it. Have your husband take you out.
Oh! When half the time he in Africa, ain't he? Is that a real marriage? Anyway,
I don't know. Well, that's we opened another can of worms. Now we ain't doing.
Wait a minute, Vicky Vale, thank you so much for the Cash App. It says Sylvia may do better than Sonia at fundraising. Maybe she has more practice. I'm going to review Sonia's live when we get off of here because she, I guess she's trying to give so that's what I was saying that so supposedly Sonia came out and said that she had. Oh, I know what it was. It was on a phone call, not a phone call. Actually, I think it was one of the FaceTime calls where she mentions that a blogger sent her a picture of the young girl that is Ernest, his one of his victims. The young girl's 19, and Sonia said one of the bloggers sent her the picture, and she was very specific about how she described the blogger.
I saw that video. It had to be Sylvia. She mimicked her voice. I said, "That's Sylvia right there." She said, "That's Sylvia."
But wait, then they talked about it because they saw that it was all going around. I'm sure Sylvia saw how people were responding.
Yeah, of course they came back
Sonia, and then Sonia went live to say, "Oh, by the way, it's not Sylvia who gave me that picture." Yes, it is.
Yeah, they try to clean it up. No,
it would have to be Sylvia. Well, I'm guessing Sylvia or myself, and I don't even know I didn't know anything about the doggone lady.
Did you interview her?
Huh?
You interview her?
I interviewed Sonia.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, you gotta see it.
No,
honey, she ain't like me. We're not speaking anymore, I guess. She ain't like me by the end. I was kind of pressing her.
That's what you're supposed to do. A good journalist.
I know. She wasn't ready.
What kind of pressing questions did you hit her with?
Well, I wanted to know, how is it that, here's the thing. She mixes up her stories, and she talks about how she met him. She told me that she met him while trying to find property. He already was leasing the very property she was interested in. And then they went somewhere, had coffee, talked for 3 hours, and the next day they had sex. Okay. So she said she's only seen him 5 times. And so my question was, why are you so familiar with this guy? And how can you say for a fact that you know that he's innocent if you two have never really discussed the case because he's been locked up the whole time that you've been talking to him about the case? And why are you so adamant about the fact that he's not guilty after knowing all the things that we know? And she didn't like that. She didn't like that I was even pressing her on that. I said, you don't know him. She said, well, no, y'all really don't know him. I said, no, you don't know him. If you only saw him 5 times. Now, get this. Later on, after our interview, I thought about it. I said, this girl, as I was watching her on these video calls with him, I said, she knows him. She saw him more than 5 times. Now, that might be their cover story because he was married, supposedly. We don't even think he's married, but at least not to Shirley. But she thinks he's married at this point. Why is she acting like she knows him so well when she couldn't possibly? But in the picture, in the video call, she acts very familiar. I said, she's seen him more than that. Do you know, just the other day, a video came out of her saying they had seen each other 20 times. 20. She also made a comment last week in another call that's from months ago where she said, oh, look how scruffy you look with his beard and stuff. She said, that almost looks like you did before you got married. He got married 9 years ago. How you know what he looked like before he got married?
Man, she saw a picture. She saw a photo.
Have you seen Ernest look scruffy? Because if anything, he cares about his appearance. He wears nice clothes. He stays groomed. He had owned a barbershop. So just because he had a beard, that doesn't make him scruffy. She was saying he looked kind of scruffy. And what picture would you have seen that of him? She saw him 20 times. Okay.
So see, here's the problem. This guy, he wasn't in no one's radar until the whole thing came out that he was connected with Shirley Strawberry. Then the YouTubers made him more popular. And then you have this reporter who put a camera in the courtroom at his bond hearing. So he wants the fame. I don't know. You guys think I should cover the next hearing?
Yes.
Put up one in the chat if you think I should cover the next hearing that's coming up.
11111.
I know you. Well, the judge knows me now.
Yeah.
She knows me. And I also sent her a one sheet on my links to a lot of my work. So there's no doubt here, Your Honor.
Oh, look at the chat. Look at the chat.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
So
I don't see any other digit in the damn chat.
Okay, so
11111.
I think Pamela gonna have to come to the court because just in case we have to battle out. No, Judge, no, we ain't battling out.
When is the next hearing, by the way? Do you know?
I have the date tomorrow.
Okay.
I have the date tomorrow. I think because you guys want me to be there, I'll be there. But you guys, take Pam back. Yeah, of course. Pam's gonna fly in. She's in New York. I think she's gonna be in New York tomorrow. I had to check with her.
Live?
Huh?
Where does she live?
She's in Chicago. Hold on, let me see if I can get Pam.
Okay.
Let me see if I can get Pam on the phone.
I like Pam. Depending on the date, I'm gonna go. If I know you're in the courtroom, I'm gonna go to something. Just need to know the date. I love trials. Y'all have no idea. I love this shit. I love. Hi, everybody in the chat. So just so you know, we're streaming from Dennis's Live. So I can't really interact with folks in my chat, but I thank you for being here.
Your call has been forwarded to.
Oh, Pam, why you do us like that? You did us dirty.
She's probably watching. She ain't gonna pick up.
Oh, she's like, I ain't talking to them.
But she's in these streets. She's
in. Somebody said they thought she was near Detroit.
Yeah, but she's in. I think she's gonna be in New York tomorrow. I talked to her on Friday.
Okay.
Because Bishop Whitehead has to deliver. They're gonna deliver closing arguments tomorrow. So she might be in court for that.
It's just too much going on.
And this week is big in Fulton County again. It's big in Fulton County.
Happening? What's everything that? Oh yeah, with Fonnie stuff will come out.
And some other stuff. We'll talk about it offline. But so this is reason why I played the video is because I want people to put into perspective. This is the guy who obviously has it appears he's a career criminal based on everything he is. Career, like you get in trouble once or twice. That most people just say, listen, I'm gonna straighten up, fly right. But this right here is indicative of, they maybe they're framing him now. I'm not saying he's guilty, but I'm just saying this is just a lot of mess. A lot of mess right now.
Here's the thing. I mean, it's weird to say that you don't know. Here's the thing. This man is not just committing crimes when he's single. He was with Shirley Strawberry, who was making $500,000 a year. You couldn't just sit back and figure out something to do positive and be a good person for the last at least 9 years. Yeah, like you're in a great circle of people that could help you, a network of folks that could assist you in having any type of successful business. I mean, he was on the road to doing great things potentially, but he wanted to do it in a raggedy way. And he sounds like he's
look at this weirdo. Look. Well, hold on. I'll put the weirdo up here. He said, look at this. Dennis had to drop Sylvia's name to get his Rule 22. Pam couldn't help with that. Shut your hating behind up.
Oh Lord. Well, of course, if I would have made that connection too. How are you gonna let it? If I'm a journalist, how are you letting a blogger? Now, look, I'm a blogger. I understand we're a new form of media and a powerful form of media, actually. But the truth is, we're not journalists. So if you're going to break it down, if I'm the journalist and I see a blogger has their Rule 22, I'm gonna bring this shit.
Tynesha, I say that in all kindness and fairness. She said, so Sylvia helped you get the Rule 22. I ordered the transcripts. She helped me. We ordered transcripts. I got a lawyer that's in the courtroom. She helped me do jack. She was my demonstrous evidence I used as an exhibit. Exhibit A. She was an exhibit. She wanted to help me with anything. Put some respect on my name. I can't read. The judge told you, and Pam confirmed it. Look, this must be one. She must be a troll. See, I wasn't gonna let you stay here, but if you're gonna come here and troll, I'm gonna get you out of here. You're out of here. I don't take the wrong person out. What do you think? I should leave her and let him troll. Marge, take her out of here. Marge, I'm letting Marge do what they do.
Let's be clear. The judge did say no, but then he was able to convince her as to why she needed to say yes. And then she said yes. That's what Pam confirmed, that he did get it. So when that happened, he didn't.
I name dropped 6 presidents. I name dropped six presidents.
Sylvia, 6 presidents, child.
Right. Clinton, Bush, Barack, Trump. We talking about. Let's see here.
Sylvia. That's hilarious. Well,
Lily, get her out of here, Lily.
Oh my gosh, know your own worth. My moderator just gifted 5 people memberships. Thank you so much. Know your own worth.
Let me show that right there.
Thank you.
That's right.
Thank you so much. Tomorrow we're gonna have a members only. You should come over there, Dennis, and talk to us. We could talk behind the walls.
Oh yeah, you know something? As a matter of fact, now that I think of it, ladies and gentlemen, I have some exclusives. I have a membership section as well. I haven't really launched it, but I have a membership section, and that's where it goes down at. I'm gonna play some of the videos that you don't see over here. I got some. Let's see here.
Yes.
Okay, I feel like Ernest amped up. Thank you for the super chat. Let me see here.
Thank
Ernest
you.
amped up his scamming to keep up with Shirley's income because he's jealous of her and felt less than. Man, I mean, that's your opinion. It might be. I don't know. I mean, when you have someone making that kind of bread, what do you allegedly doing crimes for? It just makes no sense.
Well, that's my point. Why do you have to do crimes at that point? Like, this is crazy.
Too old for that. You're 50. What did he say?
60. He said himself. He's like, I'm about to be 60. And his friend was we were listening to old calls yesterday, and his friend was like, you need to sit your ass down somewhere.
What happened?
He said, I've been sitting down.
Oh, they had another phone call release. I'm not really, like
multiple.
In
the last couple of days, about 4 calls have been, at least 4 or 5 calls come out in the last 2 days.
God bless you, because you're pulling those calls.
These fools talk so much too, because I know the calls we heard in the last couple of days, a couple of them, at least some clips are going to be played, because they're all but admitting that this dude was up to some crazy stuff, that he was actually doing foul stuff. And he knows who's telling what, or at least he's speculating on who's telling.
Well, now that you guys have thrust me into this case, I'm going to have to listen to the phone calls. So when I make my next motion, listen, I've made motions in the last, last month. I've made motions in 4 different courts, and granted, all my motions have been granted. I had to do the same thing at Nature Boy as well.
Ooh. Okay, let's talk real quick about Nature Boy, and then I'll promise I'll let you go. But okay, so how do you feel about his sentencing? Because that's the question. Did he get too much? Was that too much for him, or what? Like, what? How do you see it going down? Because I have an opinion, but it's literally a layperson's opinion. What do you think?
I have clips. I have clips from that. There's some stuff you guys haven't seen yet. Maybe that'll be another live. We'll say that for another live. We'll do an analysis on that because there are many clips that hadn't been released. You guys got fraction of it, but if we want to really dive and do a deep dive in it, then let's just make that a separate stream.
Okay. Because I would love to hear more about what was, because there were so many other things going on while he was in trial. I really wasn't paying that much attention to him. Plus, I have a disdain for him. I watched him a few times and I couldn't stomach it. Watching him tell people to slap each other, and I mean the things he was doing, it was just foul. Having sex with people on camera but not on camera.
Oh, it was disgusting. Now, let me say this. He had a choice. The judge, they offered him a plea. I think the first one was 7 years, the next one was 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
He had a choice. He had a choice up until the day of trial.
Yes.
He said, listen, I'm gonna roll the dice. Life without plus 10 years. But see, the only way this guy's his case is going to be reversed is because the judge had COVID. And she said he voluntarily decided not to be a part of the trial. Well, you can't volunteer something when you're incarcerated, and you got a judge who had COVID, and she didn't want the media to mention that she had COVID. And I never came back to the court after that.
She instructed you guys to not.
Well, she asked members of the press not to report that she had COVID. Well, Your Honor, I'm sorry, you can't. We report when presidents have COVID. We report, listen, you're a judge. That was inappropriate for you to even ask.
Wow. Okay,
yeah, so,
I didn't realize that. Lord.
Yeah, that's exclusive.
It did seem odd that she was like, well, sir, if you don't want to be in here. Now, here's the thing. She had COVID. She had on the mask. He was in his seat with a mask, but his attorney had no mask. What the hell was that? If you know that woman got COVID, why are you walking around here all willy-nilly with no mask? Hell, I had all my vaccines and still got it Thanksgiving.
Listen, I'm ready. I'm trained to go right now.
Right. Me too. Shoot.
But I didn't go back. I'm gonna say something. I didn't go back to the courtroom because I had COVID in 2021. I didn't take the shots, none of that, but I stayed home and treated. I felt awful. It didn't feel like a cold. It felt like something I'd never felt before.
Yeah.
But I was down. I felt weak. Again, it's a communicable disease. She shouldn't even play Russian roulette. You can't be telling people it's a choice, and then
she should have been quarantined. She should have
quarantined. She should
stop the trial till she got better, or let somebody, whatever.
Judge Glanville in the YSL, he stops the trial. Listen, they don't break down. We go, after a whole week. But so she should have erred on the side of caution, also to preserve her the integrity of her courtroom. She should have erred on the side of caution. And I think it's going to be he's probably gonna have to get a new trial. He's gonna probably have to get a new trial. Now
he's
the question
not gonna come
is
out innocent, but maybe he won't get life.
Well, you see, what'll probably happen, they're gonna offer him another plea. They may offer him 20 years instead of doing a new trial. They don't want to put these victims through this again. So I don't know if it was a strategy for him, but it's definitely a card he can play. It's a card he can play. All the lawyers, for example, all the lawyers on the panel on Court TV, they all agreed with my position that the judge erred in making that ruling and telling him that, first of all, they asked him, was he going to testify? What do you want to testify? Well, if he wanted to testify, that was pretty much eliminated because he didn't want to be in the courtroom. you got to be able to confront your accusers. But if the judge is saying, listen, my COVID, this is my COVID, you can choose to be here or not. CDC hadn't changed their requirements until the next day.
Okay. Because at that time it was 5 days, right?
Right. So the CDC didn't change the guidelines until the next day after he was found guilty.
Maybe she knew.
Well, it doesn't really matter. The day he's supposed to be taking the stand or testifying or whatever, it didn't happen that day. So I think that's the only way to get it. Other than that, there was some very damning testimony. Now,
I mean,
very damning testimony. He could have came up and refuted it,
Now, let me ask you this. That whole exchange between he and the attorney, not the attorney, but he and the judge when he's trying to fire his attorney.
Yeah.
How weird was that?
That was weird. That was weird. That was weird. I was in it for that.
Y'all make some good ass TV in that Atlanta courtroom, boy. A lot of shit goes down in there. It's nothing but great TV. Great TV.
Red lipstick. I agree with you, but I'm just when people ask me for my opinion, I'm looking at based on me covering court cases. I don't take nothing. It's never personal for me. The decisions that these judges make. It's important because others have to go in front of these judges, and it also shows the temperament of the judge as well as the decision making.
It's a cautionary tale to anybody who has to go into a courtroom. Like, don't disrespect the judge, even if they're a whole asshole. Just rock with it. This person has your whole life in their hands, and if it's a jury trial, you got to be on your best P's and Q's then too. Because your appearance is also going to be a factor. How your behavior, your gestures, your facial expressions, everything is going to be up for.
Hold on. She said, "Who got kicked out of Cardi B's trial?"
That's right, she did.
Yes, Sylvia got kicked out of Cardi B's trial. Marshall's got out of it.
Because she's in there saying, "Yeah, like she's the freaking media. She's not supposed to jump."
Right. I mean, what are you doing here? Posture check.
Oh, God.
What the heck you doing?
But see,
Cardi
this is your fault.
Cardi looking at me like, Dennis, what's up?
But this
Dennis?
is your fault, though, Dennis.
No, it's Lily's fault.
Didn't you give her the title or at least grant her?
Lily did it. I'm blaming Lily now. Lily, she was there. Lily did it.
Lily, did you encourage this foolishness, child? Like saying, okay, now you're media, so now she carries that around like a badge of honor, and she thinks she is a journalist. She's not a journalist.
No, she got kicked out. Listen, she got kicked out of Cardi B. She got kicked out of R. Kelly. She got kicked out of.
She got kicked out of R. Kelly's trial too.
Yeah, she got cited for recording in the courthouse. She got cited. She got cited in the recording in the courthouse. Gave her a whole summons. Like, come on now.
What?
Yes, in federal court. Well, you don't record in the courthouse.
What was the situation? I'm still confused. Who was the other blogger that she got into it that got her arrested in Chicago? Was she?
I don't say that person name on my platform.
With the person? Huh?
I wasn't there. I just know that it was an allegation and she got arrested. Yeah. It was just weird. And then
why she always getting arrested on her way to the courtroom? I want to understand this.
Say it again.
Why is she always getting arrested at the courthouse, basically? Because wasn't she walking to the courthouse at that time when she got into it and got arrested? Then this time she got arrested at the courthouse, knowing she has a warrant, but thought the courthouse was safe. Like, what the hell? Okay.
Hey, listen, people move funny style. And I would just say this, and this is, I'll say is, I don't know if certain people are listening, but they made a stupid move recently and made Lano back in jail.
What?
I'm leaving. I'm not going to repeat that. I'll just say that. Something
you
dumb.
Froze. You froze.
Did I refreeze?
Yeah, for real. You did. You got to say it again. What? Say it.
I think you froze. I said
it. I froze?
You froze. I ain't going to say it again. I said it. I just
Damn
leave
it.
it like that. I leave it like
I'm
that.
going to red ball it as soon as we hang up.
I said it. I just dropped some tea. If you listen, I dropped
Lily
the tea.
didn't hear it either.
I'm gonna say it again.
Okay.
Okay.
Just stop playing. Forget you did this. Forget
And
you.
that's what's gonna happen. What happened? What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong
with you? I cannot. Look, I'm getting off of here because I need to go do my live at 7 o'clock.
Absolutely. I'm going to check out that interview you did.
Yes, check it out. I'll send it to you. Check it out.
You send me the link?
It's long, but we get into it a little bit towards the end. She ended up having to hang up.
You're
it's
worth long. Me listening to it.
It's 2.5 hours. This girl could talk.
Oh my goodness. Yeah,
you have to do it in chunks.
No, listen, I'm covering the case. Let me see if this has any significance to the case.
Because she's lying all through it about the case and how they know each other and what his what the allegations are and why she believes he's innocent and he's a nice guy is what she said.
I'll listen to it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna finish playing this the last I'll
watch
the remaining of this Nesto bond hearing. For those who want me to continue playing this, I'm gonna play the remaining and you can see what really happened. Here we go.
Yes, and can I just say this real quick to everyone that's in my chat? I am going to go live at 7 o'clock to go over Sonia's live from last night. So we're going to do a reaction to that. So, okay. Thanks, Dennis, again.
Absolutely. Here we go.
Got away with it for years. I also received a statement from the defendant's daughter. And she is another outcry witness in this case. And she states that, hello, my name is. I would like to say that I do not wish for my dad to get a bond due to the trauma he has left me with. I now attend a mental health program for my healing process. I fear if he gets released, he will put the community in more confusion. Thanks for your time. We ask the court to consider both outcry statements. The facts the court has already heard the bond hearing in October of last year. And we ask the court for a bond to be set as follows for each count. As to the aggravated sodomy, the state would request a $100,000 bond. As to the rape count, the state would request a $100,000 bond. As to the aggravated sexual battery, the state would request a $100,000 bond. And as to the trafficking a person for sexual servitude, the state would request a $100,000 bond. And as to the sexual battery, the state would request a $50,000 bond, an aggregate of $450,000. The state would request special conditions, and in this case specifically, that the accused have no contact, indirect or direct, with the named victims in this case. Outcry witnesses.
Had to remove those names.
Okay.
I thought you said that there were 3 additional outcry witnesses. You just gave me 4 names.
Yes, Your Honor. Now is an outcry witness. So the financial crimes cases overlap and intersect with the sex cases. And was referenced in this case as one of the owners of a vehicle that the defendant he basically defrauded, and use her name for some things that ended up, part of.
I have to take the names out, ladies and gentlemen, because we're not
This special
playing
condition is
victims'
already,
names in this
outlined
video.
in other law boards with other cases. We just want to ensure that it overlaps in this case as well. And that is the reason why the state is asking for that specific special condition here. We would also ask for the special condition that he be under house arrest. That you have an ankle monitor that he is responsible for paying for. That he surrenders his passport within 24 hours of release. They have no social media, no weapons, and not, and I believe the state of Georgia. And those are the special conditions that we would ask the court to consider in this case.
Anything else, Ms. Rodman?
Yes, Your Honor, I would like to address that the case referenced for child pornography from January the 12th, 2023, that case has been dismissed, and that was announced at the previous hearing for that case on February the 5th, 2024, before the Honorable Alexandra Manning. Additionally, the failure to appear that was referenced from 2004 is extremely old, as well as the last felony conviction is over 18 years ago. This is very old. Mr. Williams, in the 18 years between 2006 and now, other than the pending charges that he is maintaining his innocence on, has not had cycles of arrest or convictions during those 18 years. And Your Honor, I believe that he is a good candidate for bond because he will come back to court and is looking forward, in fact, to his day in court in this case.
What about the 4 outstanding warrants?
Your Honor, those warrants, I'm hearing about them right now. So I do not have any knowledge of those warrants.
Yeah, right.
Right. Is she Hannah? Is that Hannah? No.
Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
And the CP charges were not dropped, they were dismissed, which means they can be picked back up again, right?
Yeah, that's Hannah.
Prejudice? Try you clicking their camera in. Oh, that's the title.
The judge is cranking away.
No, it's court recording.
What you did not address, Madam Prosecutor, is what the state's intention is regarding the charges, given the length of time the defendant has been in custody. Is there any projection as to when the state will make a charging decision?
Yes, Your Honor. The state intends to be able to present in April with these cases. We're coordinating that also with the cases that are open in White House.
And I haven't done the calculation, Ms. Rondon. What was the number of days you indicated your client had been in custody? 232. Thank you. Given the length of time that has passed, the defendant technically was entitled to a bond when the court heard this matter in October of 2023. However, the court in its discretion denied the defendant's motion for bond at that time. The matter is back before the court today for reconsideration, and based on the representation of the state concerning its intentions relative to the presentation of any formal charges to the grand jury, and the fact that Mr. Williams has now been in custody for 232 days, the court believes that he is in fact still entitled to a bond, and a bond should be granted in this instance. However, the court has some serious concerns regarding the history, even though the last conviction, as was properly pointed out by Ms. Rondon, was in 2006, and it has been several years. The state recited at least 4 outstanding warrants in various jurisdictions, in addition to providing victim impact statements from alleged victims to the crimes that Mr. Williams has been arrested for, which he's been arrested. And so in light of all of those considerations, the court hereby sets bond as follows. As to what appears on the court's calendar as count number 1, which is aggravated sexual battery, the court sets a $100,000 bond. As to count 2, rape, the court sets a $100,000 bond. As to count 3, aggravated sodomy, the court sets a $50,000 bond. As to count 4, sexual battery misdemeanor, the court sets a $5,000 bond. And as to count 5, trafficking a person for sexual servitude, the court sets a $150,000 bond. That's a total bond of $400,000. 5. Sets a total bond of $405,000. Should the defendant make bond, he will be subject to additional conditions of bond. Among those conditions are that he shall have no contact whatsoever with the alleged victim in this case, the 3 additional outcry witnesses, and the 4th alleged witness in the financial crime. I think all of those names have been provided by the state. Representative Yakin? You're talking to me, not the whole court, right? All right. If you'll write those names down, Ms. Winfrey, and provide them to the litigation manager. The court is further going to require that the defendant shall surrender his passport. He will be subject further to the requirement that he shall surrender any weapons. He shall have no social media presence. He must reside in the state of Georgia in this. And while I am not imposing a house arrest condition, I am going to direct that the defendant shall wear an ankle monitor at his own expense so that he can be tracked. Any questions from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else on behalf of the state?
No, Your Honor.
Right. That will be the order of the court. Mr. Williams, your case remains unindicted. I am simply presiding over the matter in the interim until an indictment is returned. You've heard the state's representation that they do intend to present these charges to the grand jury, and I have no idea at this point to whom the case will be assigned. But until such time as the case is assigned, is indicted and assigned to an elected judge, the matter will be presided over by this court. Any questions? All right. There's nothing more. That will be the order of the court. This matter is adjourned.
He looked dazed. Do you think
All
his heart
right.
fell in his lap when he heard those numbers?
He was dazed throughout the I don't know. I guess he wasn't expecting that judge to grant the camera in the courtroom.
Oh,
He
that's
thought
right. It
that-
started there.
He
That's
thought
right.
the other person was going to put the camera in there where he could control the
Sylvia.
footage. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
allegedly.
So how did tell us real quick about how that happened? So at the beginning of the hearing, he had asked his attorney to ask for it not to be recorded.
Well, she objected to it. The attorney objected to it. The attorney didn't want the attorney didn't want the the proceedings to be recorded. She didn't want that, so she tried to fight against it happening, and the judge said, "Well, no, based on your client making himself available in previous interviews at the jail, and and Tasha, I threw Tasha K up in there as well. I dropped her name too."
Yeah. And
the
see,
judge said, "No, you
Sonia
make
is
yourself
the
available."
social media presence. She's his proxy for social media. So she went live yesterday. I haven't heard the whole thing, but we're gonna listen to it. But yeah, so he's still contacting people, and he called his kids and told his kids to gather some information and to reach out to do things that he was not supposed to do. I think to even reach out to the daughter, possibly, that he's not talking to.
Well, I'm sure that prosecutor in that case is watching everything.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm sure she's watching everything.
I'm
Well, I
sure.
want to thank you for coming in such a short notice. I really appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad to be here. So I'm going to go live here in a few minutes, grab me something to drink and snack on. So while I sit here and talk crap about these people. Okay.
Hey, which people are you talking about?
I'm talking about Ernesto and his mistress.
Oh, okay.
Or
Okay.
his alleged mistress. So yeah, we'll be talking about Ernest.
I might pull up. How about that?
Okay. All
right. I appreciate you. I really do. And we're going to see you on our the next episode of the Dennis and V show.
Yes.
Hey.
Love you.
Yes. We out. Hold a second here. Let me does someone have any questions? Do any of your people have questions?
Say it again.
I thought someone had a question. Okay.
We're out. We're not live anymore. Or am I just not live?
What? Are we live?
No, it stopped. Or is it? No, it's still going over here. My end stopped though. That's cool.
No.
All right, I'm gonna jump down. See you later.
Hey,
bye, everybody.
We out. We out.